Cloud is now recognized. Mr. Cloud.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ms. Pocock, for staying online. I know you're not in the room. We haven't forgotten you're there. Appreciate you being here. I was curious to get your thoughts just really on, in the context of this conversation we're having today, what the role of the traditional nuclear family is in society today, and what your take is on that.
Thank you for having me. I recently had a surgery, and so I'm not able to fly. So I really appreciate the opportunity to testify virtually. What I can tell you is that research shows that young people who are connected with trusted adults, whether it be parents, in fact, just one trusted adult reduces the risk of suicide by 5 times. So the reality is, family structure is important. And, those of us in this community know that we have family structures in which our children are very taken care of, have great health outcomes, similar to others who might be in different structured households. But the truth is anyone can be a trusted adult and impact the outcomes for young people. And so that's why we're constantly educating the community, be the trusted adult for the young person. No matter where you are, you could be a teacher, you could be a neighbor. If that young person trusts you, they can come to you with a difficult problem they're facing, and that will reduce their risks.
Do you believe that parents have a right to be involved in these sort of discussions with their children in school?
So we have I think about 100 parents who participate in our programs to support their young people. And so at Inside Out, we believe that if parents want to show up as a partner in the success of their young people, they're going to have healthier outcomes. So, for example,
but do parents have a right to know? Is my question.
Do parents have a right to know what?
What their child is dealing with? For example, if there's a child or a teenager in school who's questioning their identity or those sorts of things, do parents have a right to know and be involved in that discussion?
Well, I'd say, it depends. Again, we have young people who show up at our space who are leaving unsafe, abusive homes. And in that case, we have to do everything we can to make sure that young person is safe and protected. We are constantly filing reports of abuse and neglect because of parents
I understand the cases of it sounds like you're deflecting the question a little bit. I understand cases of abuse. There's laws to protect the abuse. I mean, schools actually are legally obligated to report cases of abuse, mm-hmm. Same for churches and the like, anyone who deals with young people. But, do parents have a right? Should they be informed about what's going on? Do they have a right to know what's going on in their kids' lives?
So I think, again, those of us who are protecting and supporting young people are there and trusted with the information of the things that they are dealing with. In terms of parents' rights to know at schools, here in Colorado, parents don't have the right. If a young person is questioning their gender or their sexuality, there are laws in place that say that they have the right to process that with their trusted counselor and so forth.
You do a significant amount of your work with kids even starting at age 13.
Yeah.
What would be the age of consent then in your mind?
In our community, the age of consent to mental health therapy is 12 years old. So we have laws that enable young people to connect with trusted adults who can support them. That is just so important. It prevents suicide. And so we serve young people at 13 because we know they come to us and we can prevent negative health outcomes for them.
Okay. Lately, we've seen a lot of people in the news coming out detransitioning. Could you speak to that phenomenon and what's that person going through? Did they get it wrong? Were they going through a period? Is it just a fluid thing? Could you speak to that?
Well, I can't really speak to an individual's personal experience. Somebody's gender is just a really personal experience, but I can speak to you. I've been in this work for a long time. I know a lot of trans folks, close friends, family members.
Well,
And
the
I just
concern
never
is
heard a
the-
case of anyone detransitioning.
The-
So I honestly don't think it's a real.
There's a number of cases in the news right now where this is happening, and the concern for parents have is, you know, we've all had awkward teen years where we've questioned things in existence and a lot of things, and the question is kids who are maybe making a permanent decision even without the input of their parents and making irreversible decisions. You know, there's some who've talked about they can't have kids anymore and they wish they could and the like. And so I'm curious how we would work to protect kids. I wish we had more time.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Because I think this is an important issue to get into. But thank you for being here.
Thank you. The gentleman from Maryland.